Fun fact, I already recorded this video, but the microphone that's on the camera really urinated on the mattress, if you know what I mean. So as I redo this, the mic is still on there, but in case it does it again, then we have this mic on here as well. You know what? It. Let's just put the third mic on as well, the shirt mic. Oh wait, actually, sorry, I needed to sync this up first. Hey guys, Comedy Shorts Gamer here.
Hey guys, it's Comedy Shorts Gamer here.
Hey guys, it's Comedy Shorts Gamer. I didn't want to have to make this video. I didn't want to at all, because you know this channel is all about comedy and being funny. Haha. But I wouldn't have made this video if I just had a couple of nitpicks about my visit there. But as you can see by my notes, there's kind of a lot to discuss. So we're gonna get all into that right now. I didn't want to have to leave a review on the Airbnb app because didn't really want her seeing it. Maybe that makes me a coward. I don't know. Call me that, whatever you want. I don't care. It's not going to affect me in my personal life. And B, because there's probably a character limit on the review. I'm most likely going to exceed it. Some words. I know English. But anyway, let's just get right into it. So, get to Los Angeles on Tuesday. My aunt picks me up, stay at her house for a bit, and then in a couple hours we head off to the Airbnb in Anaheim. It's about 40 minutes away from where my aunt lives. And then so yeah, we get there, we meet her, my aunt meets her, it's all good, and then my aunt eventually leaves after she shows us around, tells us the guidelines and stuff like that. And then, you know, this is about like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. So I figured that the hostess was just going to be there to, you know, show us around and all that. But she kept, you know, cleaning the carpet, even though I really didn't care about that in my mind. I'm just like, yeah, I mean, the carpet looks fine. You can just leave. But here's the kicker. She actually lives there. Yep, you heard me correctly. She lives there. And I didn't see that anywhere in the description of the Airbnb on the app when I was looking up for places to stay at, because you know I had the expectation to once I get there I'll be staying there by myself for the next 4 days until I leave on Sunday after VidCon is over. But nope, I have to share the apartment with somebody. Oh boy, isn't that fun? Isn't that just a hoot and a holler? Look, the thing is that I'm an introvert, okay? I enjoy my privacy, but clearly, I'm not gonna get that here, so I'm just gonna have to suck it up, right? But during that first night there, a couple of red lights went up that showed me I was not gonna have a good time here. Reason the first, she's pretty sarcastic and a bit of an attitude. Now, that doesn't really bother me in my, you know, usual life, because you know I'm very sarcastic, okay? So if I can't be sarcastic towards people, then people shouldn't be sarcastic towards me, you know? Did I say that right? I probably didn't. But at the same time, like, this is your job. You're just supposed to be treating your guests nicely, you know? If you go to a hotel, you expect to be treated with like the most excellent service, you know? And I realize that Airbnb is different because it's like just a normal person hosting, but at the same time it's like it's common courtesy to just be, you know, not be an ass. But she would just constantly make rude remarks that at first I took them as jokes because, you know, as her sense of humor, and they might still be just part of her sense of humor. But as my stay continued, it seemed like the remarks were serious. Oh, and the fun thing is that she had a broken thermostat, and the only reason it wasn't really broken, but it was one of those new thermostats that are like on the wall and that you could like adjust, and they're it's like a smart thermostat. I don't know, like a smartwatch or a smartphone. This was a smart thermostat, and she got locked out of it because there was a password on it that she didn't remember. This is the time we're living in, folks, where you can have a password on your thermostat and then just get locked out of it. And the last temperature that she left on it to keep it at was 74 degrees. 74. And let me remind you, this is in California, folks. Not in Northern California, in Sacramento or something like that, where it can get cold from time to time. No. Anaheim. Los Angeles, people. So yeah, it was always hot. So because we didn't have access to the thermostat and it was locked at 74 degrees for the rest of eternity, it's probably still locked at 74 degrees. She always left the front door open, and the front door was as soon as you open the front door, it's outside. You're right on the street as soon as you walk out of there. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I live in a ghetto area. I do. I know I don't act ghetto, but sorry, I'm different. I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. But yeah, I live in a ghetto area, so I myself grew up saying I would never, ever leave the front door open, because at any point someone could just waltz in and do whatever, I suppose. So yeah, since I grew up like that, it made me very uncomfortable to leave the front door open, just wide open. Now I understand that this is Anaheim, California, and there's no real ghetto there. I guess the Airbnb was in a very like exclusive area where a bunch of like middle class and above citizens were living or renting. So I shouldn't have had a real worry there about that. But you gotta understand, I grew up here, and since I grew up here, I can't just turn it off and be like, oh, I trust everyone now. Leave the door wide open, why don't you? Huzzah! Ha-ha! I really like filming videos standing up like this. I should probably do it more. Leaving the door open like that is just not something I'm used to, okay? So I couldn't just get over it. Like, I would always, like, close the door when I went into my room, and then I would hear her open it again after I went in. So I was just like, whatever. Locking the bedroom door it is. Oh, and also during that first night, she put on this YouTube video on the TV in the living room where I was just hanging out on that first night. And somehow the topic of ADHD came up. And then, so because of that, she put on this 20-minute long ADHD video. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a really well-done video from this older gentleman. I forget the channel name. I'm sorry.
Give yourself a point for each time you lose track of what I'm saying, and bonus points for actually going off and doing something else altogether and then coming back a week later and finding this quiz is still there on your screen.
But it did go a bit long for my taste. It's 20 minutes long, and it's basically the same concept, just over and over and over again. So after sitting through that entire thing, she knew I was there for VidCon and asked me about, I was like, oh, are you a YouTuber? And of course I was just like, yeah, I am. And then she asked for my channel, and then she asked me to put on one of my videos. So I was like, all right. So then we went on to Paradox Productions, which was the name of the channel at the time, of course. And then I decided to put on Poop Anxiety. But anyway, so if anyone here has watched Poop Anxiety, it's just a 2-minute comedy sketch about, pooping in public, like, you don't see anything, of course, like any fallacy or anything like that. Or profanity, I should say. So anyway, I put the video on, and she barely watches it, because she just goes on to go do more chores or whatever, like continue to vacuum or make lemonade or whatever the hell she was doing. And it just kind of bothered me, and it bothered me because it's not because I was like, oh, you should be watching my video, why aren't you watching my video? But it was because she asked me to put it on. She asked me if she could see it, and it's a 2-minute video. I just sat through a 20-minute video that you just put on, but you can't sit down for 120 seconds of a video that I made. It was just annoying. It just kind of frustrated me, It was dumb. But now let's get to the rules and guidelines of this apartment, okay? So if you go into the master bedroom where if you were renting this apartment, you'd be sleeping in that room. There's a paper that's laminated on the wall that shows all the rules and stuff. So, naturally I go over there on the first night to read everything I can and can't do. So here are the rules and guidelines. As you can see, it's normal stuff. Lock the doors when you leave. No shoes on the carpet. Turn off the lights before leaving. All normal things that any human being should just do in general. But the one that really bothers me, probably the most annoying thing, wait, maybe not the most, but one of the most annoying things about this place, it's rule number 7, folks. Hope you're down there. Here it is. No visitors. No whatsoever. No visitors at all. Okay, there is an exception. I have to run it by the hostess, so then I have to see if it's okay or not that I have someone over, but no visitors. It's pretty malarkey, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, what if I made friends at VidCon, alright? What if I had a potential love interest, okay? I'm just saying, I would have been really pissed if I couldn't bring them to my Airbnb, which is kind of the point. But, you know, whatever. And again, you have to ask the hostess for permission. Like, I'm sorry, am I 13? Am I living at home and I want to invite a friend from middle school over and I have to bring it by my mom and dad to see if they're okay with it? If they can come over for a Kool-Aid, like a juice pouch and a Chips Ahoy snack bag? I have to run it by them like I'm a child, people. Like I'm a adolescent prepubescent. It just really annoyed me. Another thing that bothers me about it is, like, what if I, like, met someone at VidCon and I wanted to get them on my podcast, you know? I had all my podcast equipment. I had this microphone. I had a backup microphone. I had my soundboard with me. Brought it all with me to California. Didn't use it once. I'm going to be honest, didn't use it once. That's my own fault because I didn't really meet anyone that wanted to interview on my podcast. But what if I did? What if I became friends with, I don't know, let's throw out a random YouTuber out there. Let's just say I met Phil DeFranco, right? I met Phil DeFranco at VidCon. I almost did, by the way. I was like so close to getting to him, but then he was like, "Ooh, sorry, I gotta go back to up in my hotel." It's in the vlog somewhere. But yeah, what if I met him and then we just hit it off, right? We just hit it off, and then I invite him back to my Airbnb where we could record a podcast together. And then my hostess to just come up and say, "Sorry, he can't be here. Only you. Kick him out." Like, do you know how upset, how embarrassed I would be? You know, oh my god. Just thinking about it just pisses me off. Like it actually happened, but it didn't. But it could have I mean, I'm cool. I could have gone along with that beautiful bastard. So yeah, it was pretty annoying that there was a rule where I couldn't have any visitors. Especially because on that first day of VidCon, on that Wednesday where it was just registration day, I went back to my Airbnb early from that day. I think I went back at like 3 o'clock or something like that because there was nothing really to do, and I had to film. I had to edit that iCarly video that we did recently, like back a month or two ago. So yeah, I go back, I get some Carl's Jr. that's like right next to the Airbnb, and then I come inside, and then there are just people in there. They're just random dudes walking in the apartment. I have no idea who they are. Never met them before. The hostess wasn't even there. It was just these two dudes. But apparently one of them was her son, who's actually a year older than I am. But you wouldn't be able to tell that because he's tall. He's probably like a foot taller than I am or something like that. He's a lengthy gentleman. And also some other guy who I didn't even get his name or the reason why he was there, because I didn't want to bother, because it's like, what's the point? Not like I can do anything about it. So that's what really got my goat, because like, okay, as the guest, I'm not allowed to have visitors over, but I can just come home at some point and there's just random people walking around who I've never even met, and they're just like, "Hey, what's up? Hey, what's going on? Oh, you the guest? Oh, cool. What's up, dude?" It's like, what? Excuse me. If I'm not allowed to have visitors over, why are you? Just because you're the hostess. It was just like, oh, wow. It was just annoying. Because I'm already pissed to have a roommate for the week, and now I have to deal with whoever else just feels like walking in. And I also have a theory about her son. Now, he might live there. Because the thing is, like, a couple of the nights, he just slept on the couch in the living room. And I know this because either I went to bed and he was still here, or I woke up and he was just knocked out on the couch. So yeah, I don't know if he lives there or not. It's just a theory. A game theory. But yeah, since we're on that first day of VidCon and I got back to my Airbnb early, let's give a couple more reasons why this place sucked. So after I got done eating and those guys left, before I started editing, I FaceTimed with my sister actually, because I haven't like really talked to them since I went to Los Angeles, which was like, this was the second day I was there. So yeah, my mom was there also, so I FaceTimed them, showed them around the Airbnb so that they can take a look at where I'm staying. And then at some point, my sister wants me to go outside so that she can see all the palm trees that are just on the street and the nice looking apartments that are all around. And then apparently I'm not like filming it at the right angle or something, because I don't know exactly the thing. My sister couldn't make out something, but that's what she was trying to get. So I'm just like going around being like, all right, come on, like I'm trying to like, what exactly do you want me to do here? So then at some point, I didn't even know that the hostess was home or something. Maybe she had just gotten home at that point. Who knows? But she came in through the other entrance. There's the front door that goes right into the street, and then the door on the opposite side of the apartment where it's like you can enter through the parking garage, and then there's the hallways of the apartments. So yeah, she enters through that door, possibly, because I would have seen her through the front door because that's where I was. So yeah, she just comes outside to the front door, and she's like, "Hey, you need to cut that out. My neighbors don't want to hear you doing that," or something. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what she said. And it really ticked me off because it's like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even see anyone like upstairs on their balconies or anything. I just quickly ended the FaceTime call after that because it's like kind of upset right now. Like highly. So yeah, when I got back in, I don't even remember if I had a conversation with the hostess. I was just annoyed because she did that. So yeah, after the FaceTime call, started editing. I stayed in the living room because I liked the big TV that was out in the living room, and I just put on Netflix movies that I had already seen before. Like I remember I put on Thor Ragnarok, The Iron Giant, It Follows, just a bunch of movies I had already seen for just background noise while I edit this iCarly video. So I started editing around 4 p.m. and then I end around 1 in the morning. So around 12:50 a.m., I'm about 10 minutes away from finishing this video. And then that's when this hostess comes out of her room and she's like, "Hey, you need to go into your room, all right? You're making way too much noise out here," or whatever. And I know why she said that. It was because Hot Fuzz was playing on the TV, and we were at the ending of the movie where the big shootout happens. So yeah, I got that, but at the same time, I'm just like, what the can I not do anything? Like, I feel so restricted. I felt so annoyed. But she said it with like no remorse and just like she's my boss or something. Like she was too comfortable bossing me around or acting and treating me like garbage. I like didn't like it at all. So yeah, she kicked me out of the living room. So I went back into my bedroom where I didn't really hang out because I wanted to, hang out in the living room for the majority of the time. But since she was walking in and out, and also after kicking me out just then, even though I had 10 more minutes, if she had just waited 10 more minutes, I would have been done with the video, and then I would have went in my room and then went to bed. But because of this, I was no longer comfortable being there. This is the thing that pissed me off the most out of this entire like Airbnb experience. But the thing was, since I'm here for VidCon and it's still like 3 more days and for VidCon to go on, like, and I had already dropped a lot of money for this Airbnb. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, this Airbnb costs more than my VidCon pass and my airplane ticket combined. And I had gotten this place with the set of mind that Camilo was coming with me, because this was still when he was still going to be. But then he told me a few days later, it's like, "Oh, sorry, I can't go. I can't get out of work," which was obviously disappointing because that was the plan, to go with him, and also for him to pay for half this Airbnb. That's also another reason why I got it, because I didn't expect to pay the whole thing. I'm not comfortable with saying how much it was, but yeah. Then after he told me he couldn't go, I was like, damn it. Well, I'll just put the money down. Screw it. Let me treat myself by getting this nice looking Airbnb that's right next to VidCon and all to myself. But obviously, that's not what happened. And God, imagine if Camila was there with me. I don't even know what I would do. Like, would one of us had to sleep on the couch with her son? Like, what the f? So yeah, then I tried to go back on the Airbnb app, not to cancel or anything like that, but to look at the reviews and also look at the description of it to see if it actually says that the hostess lives there. But when I went back to the app to look for it, it was no longer there. Like, I went under my trips, and it said this listing is no longer available, which I don't know why. It kind of creeps me out because I also just did a search like on the actual just Airbnb search bar for the place and couldn't find it there either. So I don't know what the heck is up with that. It might just be an Airbnb thing. I have no idea. This is my first time using Airbnb, obviously. So yeah, the plan was for the next 3 days of VidCon is that I'm just gonna get up really early, go to VidCon, and then not get back until really late in the day. Or night, I should say. I believe I will wake up like 8 in the morning every day. And then like take an hour to get ready and like go over to VidCon to be there by 9. And then I would probably leave around like 9 or 10 o'clock or something like that from VidCon at night, so that I would go get some food and then just go back to my Airbnb, lock myself in my room, eat, relax for a bit, and then just go to bed. Like, that was the plan. I wanted to spend the least amount of time at this Airbnb as possible. So luckily VidCon was a thing where it's like pretty much the entire day, so that was a good thing for me. And I hate that this affected my VidCon trip a bit because I really enjoyed VidCon. It was genuinely like a magical time for me. So to go back to a place that I'm staying at during this cool and fun time I'm having at this convention, it sucked, but also at the same time didn't want to like it affect it too much. And luckily it really didn't. So yeah, those are the main things. I have a couple of little things that happened during this trip that I'll like to talk about now. One of those things is that the frame of the bed is actually like bigger than the bed itself, so I would always like stub my toe on the frame, because I mean, when I like walk by the bed, you know, when you walk by a bed, you see where it ends so that you know where to walk around it. But the frame is out of like eyesight, so you can't really see it. So I end up stubbing on the frame quite a bit. I have permanent toe damage because of it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. My toe's fine now, but like, it's annoying. And the last one I have is that now I don't know if this is true or not. I'm gonna say this completely like, and honestly, like, I'm 100% not sure about this next thing. So the day I got to LA and like I stayed with my aunt, like all that yada yada. We also went to Ralph's, you know, the grocery store in California, where I would pick up a few things to eat while I stayed there. I got water, I got soda, I got chips, hot dogs, cookies, like a bunch of that stuff. So yeah, I did get cookies while I was there. Chips Ahoy, the chewy, and also had like Reese's peanut butter cup like bits and morphed inside there. It wasn't a big package. I think there were like 16 cookies in total inside of it. So yeah, I remember that first night I was there at the Airbnb, I ate about like 5 of them, and then I didn't go back to that package until the last day of VidCon on Saturday, where I decided, like, you know, let me just take the rest of the cookies over to VidCon so I can eat them like at points during the day. So when I went back to it, there was only like 6 left. And if you do the math, 16 in total. I only took 5 that first day, and now I'm back looking and there's 6 left. So there's 5 missing. So it's entirely possible that either the hostess or her son ate 5 of the cookies. Now, I don't know if it's true. I am not 100% sure, because I honestly don't remember taking 5 more cookies. You know, any of the other days, like on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, I don't remember taking 5 more Chips Ahoy at all. Because the thing is, like, when I would go to get food at the end of the night, whether it was like at a Arby's or a Jack in the Box or Carl's Jr., I would try to get like one of the desserts, like a cookie or like a brownie or something like that. So I didn't get the Chips Ahoy. But so I'm pretty sure they took some of my cookies. I'm pretty sure. Again, not 100% sure, but I'm like let's say 80% sure. Obviously, it's not something I could prove, but I just want to put that out there, okay? Put it out in the universe. There it goes. Bye. But yeah, that's really it. There's a chance she might actually end up watching this video, because as I said earlier, like, I told her about Paradox Productions, but the good thing is that we are no longer Paradox Productions. So yeah, her and her son know that my channel name was Paradox Productions, so if they try to find it again, they won't be able to. They'll just find the other channels that are called Paradox Productions. So it's a slim chance, but she might watch this video. And if that is the case, if you are watching Hostess, not going to see her name, but I do want you to know something. That day that I was sitting on that couch for, 8 hours editing that iCarly video, I farted. A lot on that couch. Like, too much. Like, an unhealthy amount of farting going on that couch. Just thought you should know. So yeah, the lesson of this video, folks, I mean, try out Airbnb if you might, but if you do, I urge you to read the description to the fullest. Remember every single detail, because I mean, it is possible that it said that she lives there, but I don't remember seeing that. And I think I would have remembered if it said that she stayed there. Oh, by the way, the hostess, like, it's the Airbnb listing for this place, it's not even under her name. It's under some guy. Like, if I can't say the name obviously, but let's say his name's Gary. So the Airbnb listing is under Gary's name, and then if you look at his picture, it's a picture of him, his wife, and his 2 kids. Okay, just a family. So it's like, so I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's a nice looking family. I'd love to rent one of their places. And the hostess, who I met when I got there, was not in that picture at all. Like, it's not Gary's wife or anything like that, because Gary's wife is in the picture and looks nothing like the hostess. So yeah, it weirded me out because I never met Gary, and also, like, I didn't hear from him at all until I ended up leaving. And then he messaged me on the Airbnb thing where it's like, oh, I hope you enjoyed your stay, and I'm just like, Gary, I never even met you, dude. Like, where the hell were you? And the hostess who did live there had like 4 other apartments that she rents out near that area. And then I'm just thinking to myself when she told me that, like, so how did I end up with the one that you lived at? Ugh. But yeah, the real lesson of the day is, I guess, just get a hotel.